doing live?
Yep.
Can you see?
Yeah,
Yes.
we are live.
We're live.
Let me check.
What's up, internet people?
We are live?
Wow,
Yeah.
that's how you call them? Really?
Great. Hey,
Yeah,
We are
we are
live.
live. Yes.
you can see yourself. You can see. Everyone goes on Facebook and share into your page. We are live. Hey, guys, how are you? I'm so glad to see all of you.
Yeah, we meet again.
Yeah, we meet again. Busy week, crazy week.
Yeah.
My name is I think my name is Roslyn Keegan. I'm a marriage and family therapist, and I'm so glad we are meeting again this Sunday, like every other Sunday. We'll be sitting and discussing things pertaining family actually. With me is my crew.
Yep.
We actually become a crew now.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll start with Judah. Introduce yourself,
Yeah.
Judah, then
So I'm
Colette.
Judah Armour. That's my ID name, or people say government name. And then I go by the name Judah Domino. And so, yeah, I'm a Ghanaian, currently in Kenya. And I love working with young people. I'm a poet. And so, yeah, that's what I enjoy doing. And that's what I see myself doing for a very long time.
Awesome. Hi, my name is Kelvin Zuze, aka Kingdom Child. I am a recording artist, to be specific, a rapper, to be specific, a trap rapper. And I'm a graphic designer by profession, and I'm a youth pastor as well.
Oh. Mhm.
Okay. So hi guys. I am Paulette Wairimo. I am a financial analyst by profession. But I love teaching kids, especially young teens. Plus I am a youth pastor. So yes. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for coming, for creating your time and sitting and having a discussion with us. I'll invite as many comments as possible. Please comment and questions. And if there's any topic you think that you want us to discuss, just comment, put out there, and share the video to as many friends and family as you can. Today, we are talking about drugs and alcohol. And what I know is what I understand and what research has told us, alcohol is a disease. And they are alcoholic, the guys who abuse alcohol. And we have also guys who abuse alcohol, but they are functional. A functional alcoholic is a person who will wake up in the morning, will drink the whole night, or drink even 2, 3 or 4, let's say beers or tots or whatever, comes home drunk, sleeps, wakes up, goes to work, and functions very well. The cycle is the same. It doesn't stop and almost drinks daily. And but an alcohol, and that one also abuses alcohol. And what we are discussing today is what is the effects of alcohol and drugs on our children. Yeah, when they're seeing their parents doing it, does it affect the children? So with alcohol and drugs, what we see is stories. We want to listen to stories and understand what has happened to our children. So I want to start off with maybe Judah.
Yeah.
Judah, do you have something you need to share?
Yeah.
With our guests
So
today? Yeah.
I've been working with young people for a while now, and in so many other countries, and some of them. Today I'll share one of the stories. I had the chance to talk to a young man some years back, and it was like mind blowing, because he started off at a very early age. He started off like sneaking in the house and then taking the drinks in the house, like kidogo. Then he goes to school and then starts starts doing drugs and stuff. But when he comes home, he's a normal kid. He's an obedient kid. He's a good kid. But then once he steps out of the house, he's a different personality.
This boy is how old? Was how old when he
He
started?
started off around 13 years old.
13.
Yeah.
That
Judah,
was
so,
one.
so you're saying he was sneaking in the house and
So you know how like Christmas or Easter or whatever occasion, there are hampers that come, and then there is a fruit juice, and then there is wine, or there is those, yes.
Yeah.
So he normally gets access to those kind of like alcoholic beverages because they don't really drink it like every time. So like you store it up, like how our parents store good things up, and then they wait for So that's how he started taking them, like kidogo, 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 kidogo. By the time he got to high school, and he was in what? Before he even got to high school. By the time he got to high school, now he started doing what's it called? Weed. And for him, it was a way of filling in. It was a way of, being part of the top guys in school. And then, but then once he comes home, he does it in school. Once he comes home, he's a day student, by the way. Once he comes home, he's this good boy at home, and like nobody could tell, like, yo, this dude is on drugs. But then one time, like after he stopped, he got sick, and he was talking to his dad, and he was like, yo, Dad, I'm going through this. Because he went high without smoking. He just went high. He was talking to the dad, and dad was like, yeah, I knew you did it. I knew you were doing it because you could never look me in the eyes. Whenever
wait. Judah, let me understand what you're saying. Yeah. This 13-year-old boy, the parents used to keep alcohol in the house, and he would drink it, but the parents never used to know.
Yes.
At all, yeah. And as he grew up, he started taking weed.
Yes.
Yeah. And then when he went to the university, you say he even started taking hard drugs.
No,
but every time he comes back, the parents.
The drugs were in high school.
He's still in high school.
Yes.
So he's still in high school.
Yes.
So then after that, he got sick, and then he sat inside and talking to his father.
To his dad.
And the dad told him he notices, he knew that he was taking.
Yes.
Yeah,
and that's the more reason why he could never look his dad in the eyes whenever he's talking to the dad. So that helped him because now he could have a real conversation with the dad. So they could sit and talk about how to solve his current problem because he thought he was going mad. So encouraging him with prayers and telling him what to do, because the dad also shared his story. So his dad also told him, you know what, I've done it before. I've tried it before. And this is what I used to do to get myself out of a mess mentally when I decided to stop. So this is what I started doing. So they had a real conversation, and that really helped him to really kind of like turn and then change from taking from taking weed. But then his story did not end there. After that, he went into alcohol. He went back to alcohol because alcohol seems more acceptable in the society. It's more, it's all okay, societal okay. Yeah. So he was drinking like regularly. He got to some point he was drinking like local stuff, and man, it's just messed him up. But then the thing is that whenever he's in school, and this was when he was in college, whenever he's in school, he does it. When he comes home, because of community and having to be around people all the time, he doesn't do it. And then he's back to his holy self. When he goes to school, he's back to the party after party kind of young man. Then he's back again. Man, like that day I really nearly cried for him.
Judah,
I'm happy.
I'm hearing you say the dad intervened and the dad listened to him, and the dad worked together with him.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering which parent out there can do the same. Most parents will really get annoyed. They might even call the cops on you.
Yeah,
So the dad, yeah, Zuze, what do you think?
I know. It's a shock, especially when I don't know, especially when you find out, the dad finds out, you know, they freak out because it takes sometimes it takes keen observation to really find out that someone is doing some drugs. So when you find out, it's like Christmas Day. It's like, yes, I got you now.
Wow.
They freak out so much.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I'm glad he was observant, but he wasn't saying anything up until
Yeah.
you know approach.
And the other thing about this story is I'm seeing is the parents had no idea that the young man was using drugs,
Yeah.
until he
Yeah.
had a conversation with the father.
Yeah.
So is it possible that our children can be taking alcohol, using drugs, and we don't know? It's
Yes.
quite
Yeah.
possible, right?
Very possible. Very possible.
It's very possible. Yeah.
Yes.
And I know we're going to talk about that later on the telltale signs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of parents. Wow, Judah, thank you so much for sharing.
Welcome.
And I will be picking your story as we move on. And Paulette,
Yeah.
do you have a story to tell us? Have you worked with somebody
Yes.
who has gone through the same?
Yes. Having taught youth and young adults for a very long time, there are so many stories you hear, like different stories of people struggling with drugs, alcoholism. And there is this one girl who shared a story with me that really touched me, because it was more so of her being curious. So for her, it was curiosity, because you see other people doing it. People are doing it for clout because it's the in thing. So she got caught up into it, and she was just 13 years old, I think the same age with the boy from Judah's story. And so she started drinking. She said taking alcohol, she would always find a way to get this alcohol using people who don't really care. They'll just get you the alcohol.
Which people, Paulette, could you tell us? Could you just which people?
I think when she was telling me this story, it was a tout. So a tout who used to, a tout who used to be, who used to transport them from the school she was in to home. So every time the closing day reaches, so this tout comes with alcohol, or they stop somewhere and buy the alcohol.
Wow.
Because he's of age. So
Yeah.
he won't be asked. And the girls will pay. They have the money, right? So So she continued. So that's how it started. So she literally would drink. And by the time she gets home, it has gone down, so the parent won't really realize. Plus, there's so many ways to hide that you're high. So it continued to high school. And now after university is when everything now like exploded, because now she's outside. She's legal. She can do it now. She doesn't have to use someone to go get the alcohol. But now this one, it extended to actually using drugs. She used this drug called Kuber. I think most people maybe have heard of it. And she started using hard drugs. She would use heroin, because even the friends that she has or the people that have gone ahead of her have been doing this thing. So why not? Why not experience it for myself? So that was her motto. Why not experience it for myself?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't.
Kuber is very popular, especially with college students, and because it keeps you awake. Am I right? It keeps you awake, keeps you alert.
Yeah.
And you can go out the whole night. We used to call it rev in my time. You can go out the whole night, but and you still an alert in class. So Kuber is very popular with college students.
Yeah. So now she
tell
started.
me, let me take you back. So this girl, she's in Form 1. So normally, if I remember very well, is normally closing days, the matatus come and pick
Yeah.
girls to go to the main towns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's this particular matatu where these girls would go in, and the tout would actually go and buy them alcohol. So
Yes.
these girls are drinking alcohol from school to home, which can be 2
Yes.
hours or a 3-hour drive.
Yes.
And of course, it's like a party in a matatu. So the driver
Yes.
is not in a hurry to reach home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus, it's just not those kinds of matatus. Those, we used to call them nganya because they have music, So it's a party. It's a party.
It's a party. It's actually a party. Yeah.
Yes, it's a party in there.
So slowly by slowly, this girl is introduced to alcohol.
Yeah.
Form 1, Form 2, Form 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she in campus, there's no one, there's freedom, you're legal.
Yeah.
You can buy for yourself. So you go to, you cannot, she starts going on to harder drugs.
Yeah.
Why do you think now in campus they move to harder, or as you grow up, you move to harder drugs? Because these are not working or what?
I feel like, first of all, when you go out there, you're now introduced into a whole new world of so many things. Yeah. And there is something you're looking for. I feel like every time when someone gets into drugs, there is something you're looking for. May it be that you're looking for, you don't feel loved, or some are depressed, some have emotional issues, like the same way, or you have grown up in a family that is the norm. So when you go out there, you're introduced to other drugs. You want to try other things. You see people are getting higher. You're even wondering, why are you not getting high as those ones are getting high? So you also want that feeling. So for her, that's what she wanted. She wanted to see, she wanted to feel what these other people are feeling. So that curiosity just built on.
And
Paulette, so she started,
just to add on that, what you have said, I feel like it's really important. You have said that their emotional needs, depressed and everything. I feel like it makes it easy for you to be convinced. You become gullible because you already have you're already defeated that what you're doing is not working. So your friends tell you when you get high, this is what happens. Like you forget all your problems. So you're like, okay, I have a lot of problems. I just need to try this thing and forget it. So yeah.
Yeah, very true.
So what problems? What does a 16-year-old? The problem of a 16-year-old, you have a lot of, what is it? I just, please make me understand.
Boyfriends. My boyfriend has decided to do exams. I am not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not getting an A. When I go home, it's not easy. They want me to get an A. Maybe I'm not an A material, but they want me to get an A. You see, there are those things. Or your family is dysfunctional.
Yes, even the sense of belonging to a group of friends. Maybe you're not really accepted to fit in every space. So you just do something to be part of those groups.
Yeah, because right now there is something like cyberbullying. Cyberbullying has caused a lot of suicides. And this thing, there is bullying. People get depressed because they're bullied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for you to run away from that, you go into harder drugs.
Yeah.
So you're running away from reality.
Yeah.
And Zuze brought in an important point of trying to fit in. And in the entertainment industry, how is it? How does this work out? Because I can see you're there. Everyone is trying to fit in. Everyone is trying to be the best. Everyone trying to get the best likes and the best views. So what happens in terms of that in alcohol?
Yeah, I myself being in that industry, I know of a friend who actually, you lose yourself because what the entertainment industry, as an artist, there's I think there's like a guide. There's like a brand guide. There's like a brand guide that you need to follow. You need to talk like this. You need to look like this. You need to go to places. You need to have this type of girls. So it's so many things. And I feel
Pressure.
like for him, it was more of peer pressure and also trying to fit in that brand guide of being an artist or being someone. Though they were not, at a younger age, they were not that big in the industry. But that's what being an artist is portrayed on TV, on media. So they ended up, doing things like going to a club, though they weren't like very, very keen at drinking alcohol, but because they're in a club and friends are doing it, they would do it. Or let's say maybe there's a girl that you need to be confident with. Friends will tell you, yo, you guy, if you have to get that girl, you need like some level of confidence.
Yeah.
So take a shot and shoot your shot.
Wow. So there's a lot of pressure for guys, eh?
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing from all of you is a lot of curiosity from the teenagers. Yeah. Curiosity to taste, to see if my dad can drink and wake up and go to work, drink, wake up and go to work. So it means this thing can work. It's not bad because I've seen them. They can function.
Yeah.
And there's alcohol in their house. There's curiosity. Or I'm seeing somebody else drinking out there. There's a lot of curiosity. Or your friends. Then you've put. I also pick up a key point of peer pressure. If everyone is doing it, I'm being left out. You feel like there's a fear of
missing out. Yeah.
And Paulette, you also brought up the point of at home. Maybe at home there's dysfunctionality.
Yeah.
There's no community that Judah talked about. Community is the one that made that young man sane. So there's actually no one to talk to reduce your stress. Yeah, there's no one to talk to.
Yeah.
So the only other is the peer influence, and then you go into alcohol. From alcohol, drugs.
Yes.
Yeah? What I'm asking, the other question I want to ask is, what was the turning point? Because Judah said about the dad came. I read that father is great. It was another father. So that's an African father, I don't know. The dad came and and talked to them, and he said, you know what? And the dad shared his story. I've been there. This is what happens. This is what you do to get out. That's very amazing. But Paulette, what about this young girl?
So
what was her turning point?
For her was the realization that it doesn't make it okay. It's not gonna wash out. It's not gonna make an E. It's not gonna make an E an A. It won't.
Yeah.
It's not gonna make my mom and dad be okay. So it's not the problem solver. Because it's you get high for a while, that's it. You forget for a minute, but when you go back, things are still the same. So that realization that it wasn't gonna make anything okay, it wasn't gonna make anything right. They had to accept what they were going through and face it alone without having alcohol and drugs involved. Plus also the fact that the family loved her. They loved her. No matter what she was going through, they were there for her. They loved her. They loved on her. That the feeling of knowing that there is someone that loves me, no matter how I feel. Yeah, that was very important for her.
Yeah, because I remember when you're telling me about this story, when you're dealing with this girl, you told her you brought in the mom.
Yeah, yes, I did.
What did the mom tell this girl?
The mom was like, fine, you're going through something? Okay, I am here. We're gonna go through it together. And I love you despite of everything you've done. And what you've done is in the past. Like it's a new beginning. Let's not dwell on what you've done. Because funny enough, even the mom didn't ask for details. She didn't ask for details. She didn't ask. She didn't want to know. She was like, you're my child. Now let's deal with it now. It's about now and the future. Yeah.
Wow.
That's me. That's an amazing. I've just had two amazing parents here. A mom who just says, "It's okay. You're still my child. I love you. Let's walk with this journey together." And the same thing as dad. So what happens on the flip side, Zuzi? What happens if a parent, if like 18-year-old comes and tells you, um, I'm taking drugs, or you find your 18-year-old taking drugs and you flip
Just
and you
snap.
start making noise, you snap it. What do you think what happens in the mind of this 18-year-old? What will he do?
First of all, they will rebel. They will rebel because they don't feel understood. The mistake that most people make is snapping at what somebody's doing wrong and not asking or trying to find out why they're doing it, because the why is very important. Sometimes it's not in your control. As a young person, like, okay, I was exposed to it, or friends pushed me to it, and there was nothing I could do. Like, I wasn't strong enough to resist, you know? And if you don't understand them from that point, and you just snap at them and tell them, no, don't do that, what they will do is they will rebel, and that will be like fuel for them to go back to the plug and get some more and more and more. Because you know what happens is, the people who smoke together, the people who drink together, really have nice conversation. They understand each other.
Yeah.
And if that's the only person that's understanding you, you will go back to him, because at least you drink together and he listens to your problems, he understands, and then he helps you get out of that moment of, you know, depressed or what, and they'll just take you to fun. But the problem is, it doesn't really solve everything. It's just for a moment. So you kind of like, it's like a car, you're just going to a gas station every time when the fuel runs out. So it doesn't solve anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyone wants to add? Paulette and Judah?
I think he has said it all.
Yeah, he has.
He has articulated it very well.
Yeah.
Children make mistakes. We all make mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you discover that somebody has made a mistake, you hold their hands and walk with them.
Yes.
And find how we can help. Because if you don't hold their hands, somebody else will do it. And they might hold their hands in a wrong direction.
Yeah.
They might not be lucky enough to meet Paulette or Judah, who will walk with them in the right direction.
Yeah.
There's one thing I really want us to also dwell in is the part that parents are clueless, that we are present but clueless. We've got no idea our children are doing all these things: sex, drugs, and alcohol. We only get it after the fact. Yeah. And this child, doesn't matter which kind of a home you are in, it can happen to any child. So maybe you want us to help us understand. Yeah. There's this thing of cough syrup. There's this thing of vodka. Why are teenagers into, let's start with cough syrup. I don't know who's going to start. Then after that, let's speak on the tampon and vodka. I don't know who's going to start with who. Who's
I'll start with the cough syrup.
Cough syrup, yeah.
I'll start with the cough syrup. So it has been, so before I get to cough syrup, I have to talk about where it started from. So this is a thing which has been in the US for a very long time. It has been in their music, and they keep talking about it and sharing it. And currently, if you check most of the big artists, all of them have alcohol. They are all endorsing alcohol in the faces of children. So they have this thing called the lean, which is also in series that we watch, like Power and all those things, where it's just cough syrup and then Sprite or whichever sweet soda they can find, and then you mix it, but then the cough syrup has to be high in codeine or something. Then you mix it, and then most of the time they use Sprite, so then it looks like what's purplish color, and then you drink it and it makes you slow. So there's even music called, what's the name? The lean music, which is slow music.
Lean back.
It just like makes you like feel like relaxed and all that. And so it's kind of like a cultural thing which we've borrowed. Let me say on this side of the globe, we've borrowed it, and then we are just, the young people are just going crazy about
misusing it. So you want to tell me all I need is to go to a chemist, I buy cough syrup with codeine,
yes,
I pour it in a glass or a cup, and I mix it with Sprite, and I'll get high, and no one will know.
No one will know.
I don't have any smell.
Yes, you'll be very calm.
Calm, when you say calm, I'll
Slow.
just be relaxed.
Yes, you'll be relaxed. You'll be calm.
Yeah.
Very slow.
And
you will not. You will also not know because there's no smell that comes out. There's no smell that you can actually easily detect that that one is high. Yeah, so it's hard for you to know, and especially if you don't know that combination. If you don't know that gets someone high, you might find bottles of cough syrup in your child's room, and you just feel like he's sick.
He's sick, and wow. So when they come home, they tell you, "I'm having a headache, and I sleep." You say it's okay because they're not smelling drugs, so you take them and you take care of them, and if they were getting high.
Yeah.
Oh God, we're actually clueless. What about this vodka and the tampons? So, Paulette, I mean, you are the best place to talk about it. Paulette. Tell us about the vodka. Is it vodka or anything?
So the vodka on the specifically vodka. This one I'm even shocked. It's called slimming. So you put a tampon in vodka. Yes. So it's mostly for girls. So you put a tampon in vodka and then insert it in your vaginal area. Yeah.
And you get high.
Okay.
You get high?
You get high. You get very high, and no one is gonna notice.
No one will know. And
that one even, it's not even about the smell. No one is gonna notice.
Wow.
So what I'm hearing from you people is all these things, the end result is just to get high.
Yes.
Yes.
And these children, what are they running away from? Why do they want? I know we've discussed about curiosity, peer pressure, fear of missing out, but what is happening? What do you think is happening that all these crazy things are going on?
I mean, I personally think it's the need to belong somewhere. It's the need to be part of something bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
Once that is not at home, or not in church, or not, then they tend to find it somewhere else. And if your friends in school, for you to belong, you have to do this, you have to smoke this, you have to do this, you have to party here, you have to do this. It forces them to do those things so they can belong in something they can be proud about.
Yeah.
Which at the end of the day is not leading to a good place.
Yeah. Plus, I think to add on what Judah has said, generally, the fact that you're known to be the holy one, you're known to be the one who goes to church is not a cool thing.
Yeah.
As in, it's just not cool because that's how it has been made to look like. Like, it's not cool to be the one who goes to church. It's not cool to be the one who doesn't drink, the one who doesn't smoke weed, you know? So everyone wants to belong. So they're gonna go and do these things
Yeah.
because you want to be cool like everyone else. Yeah.
What I want to ask and fail to understand is not all of the children or teenagers or even young adults drink alcohol or even take drugs.
Yeah.
So what is this thing that they're
Yeah.
doing right? What is this thing that they're doing right? What is it? So how would you tell parents? Like your son is not doing this because you've done this and this and this, or is it from the parent, from the society, from the community, or from the child themselves to decide?
I think let me try to tackle that. I think the first major thing is education. As we said, as we look at most of our stories that we have shared here, the stories Judah shared, the story Paulette shared, there's one common thing, which is curiosity. And curiosity starts in the mind through observation. The child observes stuff and they become curious. And as a parent, you should know that your child is exposed to these things and don't try to live out of reality, you know? And the first thing you need to tell them is advise them, give them advice on the different things. If you have done them before, you're the best person to advise them. You can even use your story of how it made you feel or what it made you do. If you haven't done that, if you haven't engaged in that, you can get a friend, you can get someone you know to like tell them, and don't make it like a lecture, but you know, just a conversation. Loop them into the conversation. They should listen to what, you know, older people think about these things. So in that way, when they come across these things, they will make a very informative decision rather than, you know, just going in it blindly, because they might even start with the hard stuff, or they might even, because I mean, like, it's okay to do something. It's okay to get one puff and just see how it feels. Since you know, they're teenagers and we don't really have a very big control over them. But I guarantee you, if they have an informative decision, even if they do that one path, next they will actually, you know, analyze and see, okay, this is what they'll contrast between what their parents were saying and what their friends are saying, and then they'll decide to move forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're hearing many views. Thank you so much. Pauline is saying good conversation, great crew. Grace is saying a great conversation. Catherine is saying, I'm hearing things I have never heard. Yeah, especially the town prophets. What I know is class 8. When you finish class 8, when you finish Form 4, some of the things these children cannot wait to do is to taste alcohol, to have sex.
Yeah.
You all work with these children, and I'm very sure you hear them doing that. So what did you tell them? What do you tell them? Because to be honest, that's what they wait for. When I finish class 8, it's a class 8 are 13-year-olds. Yeah. And they'll call Glovo, and alcohol will be delivered in your home as a parent.
Yeah.
Form 4, there's already a bash. By the time they're doing the last paper, there are flyers going around on the internet calling Leavers Bash.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you pressure their steam? Cool them off, cool them down. How do you do that? How do you help parents to do that?
Never tell them to go. That's one thing.
Mhm.
No, never tell them not to go
I
to
don't,
that.
I don't tell them not to go. I don't tell them not to go.
Oh, I should not tell them, you're not going.
Let
No.
them go.
No.
So,
You see, the truth is, like,
Mhm.
ask them, what do you want? What do you think it will give you? Let's have a real
Yeah.
conversation here. Sit down. I'll allow you to go. Come home at this time. Like, let's see what, 9, 10, this, but then what do you want to achieve? You're going because what? Your friends are going. Okay, cool. Go hang out with your friends. But then what do you want to do? What's the end result you want to gain? Do you think it will
Yeah.
benefit you? Do you think drinking is what's best for you? Then once you start sharing your story and you tell them, okay, so because I believe most of our parents have done stuff, and if they sat us down to tell us, yo, this is what I did, this is what got me to change, and their stories, we will not make the same mistakes they made.
Judah, you're assuming all parents drank. Some parents have not touched alcohol. So
Some-
what stories am I going to tell?
But then, you see, there's that's one uncle. So this is what I have seen. This was
There's only an uncle
there's only
in the
one
village.
that's one uncle who there's no
I
alcohol.
know several.
Can't lack one in a family. There is always that one in a family. That
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
That
So
one.
if you can, like, I've even seen like a parent do this where they took their child to that uncle and they're like, you know what, talk to my daughter, talk to my son, like,
Yeah.
tell them if you really like this or you are hooked up, because most of them, they are hooked and they cannot leave, so they can really have real conversations. And I believe real conversations solve this. But if you tell them don't go, they're like, why not? Because you made a mistake and you cannot tell me your mistake you made. Let me find out for myself.
Actually, yeah, that's actually true. When you tell them, don't go based on your experience and your mistakes,
go.
that they will go just to prove you wrong, just to prove you that was your mistake and this is not gonna be mine.
Yes.
You know. So when they go with that, dude, definitely they'll be defeated because
most of the time parents are hard because they've made mistakes, so they are harder on their children because they don't want them to make the same mistakes.
Wow.
But it changes.
We'll have a conversation. Kimberly has said, has given us, put a very nice pointer there. The last point she said, she feels like curiosity dies out at some point. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah,
so the
it
question
does.
is what keeps them from that habit? What keeps them there? They get hooked. Oh, so you there's alcohol. You've tested. It's good. It's bad. Curiosity has gone. So what keeps them there? What do you think? What do you think? Like this boy Judah.
Yeah.
Who you are working with. Yeah. He was curious. He took. But what kept him there?
The experiences. So he didn't really like it. So he confessed. He was like, Judah, I never really liked it. I never really liked the high. I never really liked the way I feel when I drink. But then it's made me talk to the lady I wanted to talk to for the longest. Because like you see, these are things which he was even telling me, like, there's no man who tells me this is how to talk to a lady.
Yeah.
This is how to.
Yeah.
I'm glad to say you're doing something like that, helping young guys to know how to, interact and get out of that shell.
To shoot their shots.
Yeah, because it's like the guy is shy, but then when he takes a drink, he's like Superman. Yes, let's take on the world.
So that keeps the guy from drinking more and more because he feels like he's capable to conquer anything when he's high. He's able to talk to the girls. Yeah, he can able to manage balance the stress. There's no one telling him on his back, telling him, no, you're doing something, or pushing him to the right path. So he moves on.
I think, I think for what Judah is saying, the fact that there are no role models your own age. You can have role models your own age. Like people that you're like, I want to be, but they're none. Everyone is drinking, everyone is partying. So me, I want to be cool, right? I want to fit in, right? I want that bad boy to realize that, we can have something. So I'll do anything to please that boy. There is no one my age or even, let's say, like 5 years older than I am to look up to. My siblings are doing the same things. So who am I supposed to look up to?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think one of the things also that keep them going there is to keep their friends, to keep their company. If someone is smoking weed, and smoking weed is what brings their friendship, or is what makes their friendship strong. If they stop, that means they won't be meeting at the same joint that they used to meet. It means they will be lonely, they will be alone. So that fear of, it becomes an anchor to so many things. It becomes an anchor. Some say they work so hard, they concentrate, focus when they smoke weed, and then it becomes like an anchor to those things. So you keep on doing them just because you want to maintain.
Well, it comes like something. I like what Christine has said. He said it's true. The liver's bashes are always there, and their target even as young as 11-year-old. Yeah, and Christine has said is it's a good idea to balance as a parent and a trusted friend to your team. And Anvesha, she's picking out on the stories you say that we share with our children. The other thing I want to ask is so these signs, how do I know? Because I can't smell the alcohol. Yeah? These children have become too smart. We can't smell the alcohol. Or by the time we do, or if they're not taking codeine or maybe they are spraying themselves or chewing gum, wherever they do it. So what are the telltale signs a parents can know there's something wrong with my son or my daughter? What are those signs?
To start us off, the first thing, it brings out both extremes. For example, if you're a super clean person,
OCD,
you will clean everything. If you're a very talkative person, you will talk. If you're a very quiet person, you will just be so quiet. So those behavioral changes are the ones that can actually help you to identify that, okay, something is odd here. Yeah.
What are the things?
Eye contact. I feel for me, eye contact. Those guys just don't like eye contact. When you talk, you're just there looking down, talking to your parents, talking to people. Because there is something called jicho nyanya. So this comes out when you're high. And your eyes are so red. Everyone is gonna notice something is wrong. So,
and you call it what? Jicho?
Jicho nyanya. So nyanyas are red, like tomatoes are red.
Oh, so the eyes are very red.
They are. So they don't like eye contact. Yes.
Oh. So if you're happy, become happy. What about most of the signs for alcoholic abuse is mood swings. Some tend to, depending on which drug you're abusing, tend to eat a lot. Eat a lot.
That is weird.
Munchies.
They eat a lot, yeah?
By name, yeah. Munchies.
Eat a lot, yeah. And sleeping.
Yes.
Your sleeping patterns, just,
Yeah.
Then also, parents can also look out for change of friends. All of a sudden, your friends have changed.
Yeah.
Secretiveness. This child doesn't want really to be around the family. They are very secretive. Yeah. And things getting lost in the house because you have to maintain that. You're laughing.
It's an expensive lifestyle.
Yeah, you can't leave a purse there. Your mom can't leave your purse there. 200 bob.
You have to get something for the thug. Mm.
Yeah. Oh, oh. What I want now to is, I think we've touched about it, but we want to touch it more. Is on. There's somebody who says, yeah, my parents took me to my first rev. I just had to go, and her parents took her to her first rev. She went, but it really did not. The curiosity died there. So she, yeah. The other thing I want to see is, I want us to emphasize on how should parents really behave towards the children who are abusing alcohol or drugs. It's pain as a parent. It can be very painful. You can really feel let down. Yeah, that you've tried your best as a parent, but this child has chosen, because I know the day the child also chooses to use the drugs.
Yeah.
So with all that pain that a parent has, what do you think the parent how should the parent behave? I know we've touched about it, but I think we need to emphasize on how they behave. We start from the extreme to what you think is the right. So the extreme is getting annoyed. So what do you think will happen to this child? I think, well, let's revisit that again. For the ones who come, I'm seeing more viewers are joining now. What do you think will happen?
So,
and I think I want each and everyone now to, the stories you've taught, talked about, just bring it out. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think for the first part, there's a, alcohol, and drug abuse has stages. You can start, it starts like, an occasional thing, and then it progresses to something that you do every time. So at that point, it can become an addiction. And if a parent knows that the kid is doing drugs when it's at that stage of maybe addiction, I think the best thing is not to just like snap and tell them to stop and tell them to it's like they should be able to take them through a detox process. Like if they take 3 bottles or 4 bottles a day, allow them.
Take them to help. Look for help for
rehab.
them. Take them to a rehab.
Yeah, look for help.
Yeah.
And allow them to detox. Because it's a process. Even when we look at it from a medical perspective, you when you just tell them to stop, you will kill the person.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kill the person. So I think it's
okay.
Yeah, I think it's
what I'm go on, Suze. Sorry.
Working with them is all that matters. Yeah, it's
working with them. Yeah. What, Paulette, maybe to you is women, me included. What we do, we will call, we'll look for friends, we'll start praying, we'll tell everyone.
That's the worst thing.
But we are calling community to pray and to cover.
That's the worst thing that you will do. Because from this girl's story, like literally from this girl's story, the one thing that she took from that was the fact that she respected her mom even more. Because the mom, it was a secret. No one could tell. The mom didn't call anyone. The mom didn't call for the whole family to come. Now it's an intervention. Now let's start praying for my child. Let's do this. The mom was there, literally there, and just her. So this was like, you see, it even builds on the friendship. Because now you feel like I just shared a secret with my friend, my mom. and it's a secret between us, and we are working together. She's helping me through this. She's guiding me through it. She's loving me. She's accepting me, because acceptance is one big thing. She's accepting me. So the worst thing you can do is, because of the way women are, you want to tell everyone. You want to tell the whole world. That is the worst thing, because then there is embarrassment that comes with it. And then now this realization that everyone looks at you from the view of, she's an alcoholic. She used to smoke weed. She used to use hard drugs.
So you are labeled. You're labeled. Even when you stopped, you're still labeled.
Yes,
Yeah.
people still remember you're this and this and this. So the fact that that secrecy is very important. Because for them to trust you to come and tell you that, Mom, Dad, I'm struggling with this, it's a big step.
That's,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's true.
it is
For
a
them
big
to
step.
trust you.
Yes.
Hello?
So you going telling people, it means that you, like, the trust is no longer there. You've destroyed this trust that you've built for the many years that you've known your child. That trust is, and it's gonna take a long time for that trust to ever come back.
That's very
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So how do you tell parents to balance, Judah? Because I can see you're very strong about sharing stories.
For me, I'm very strong about sharing stories, but more of the WWJD way. What would Jesus do? Because from the story, from my friend's story, it's his dad hugged him. Like his dad was like, you know, like, and that's when he told me a story. Like I saw Jesus in that picture. Like his dad was like, okay, so this is what you've done. He shares his story, and he's like, you know what, son, like this is it. Like now, like we are together in this, and it's just like what Paula said. Like it's like we roll. Like I've done this before. Now I will help you out of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then it's because Jesus died for our sins. Like it's much. I like to see things in a biblical way because it helps things make sense. So I'll just tell parents, love them more, because at the end of the day, that's all you can do, and pray.
Yeah.
Love and pray.
Yeah.
Like it's
Don't,
one of the amazing things you can ever do for your children in that state. Yeah.
Yeah.
don't call them, don't ever make them feel like they're a problem, like they love them at that point. Yes, you can point out that there's a problem, but separate that problem with them. Don't say they, you know, like it's a problem that came in their lives, not like their life came into, you know, like, so separate the problem with the being.
Yeah.
Great. Jazino has said it's hard to tell that someone is drunk, especially with the new generation drugs like nicotine pouches. Solution is to make your, you know them. Solution is to make your children mentees and your friends and be open to discussing anything about it. And that's what we've been. Thank you so much. That's what we've been discussing. There's also one thing I realize is as we are about to wind up is understanding your family. Yeah, if you look at your family, your uncles, your aunties, and let's say there's always that one uncle. They're there. That is, yeah. I think we also need to look at the bigger picture, because alcoholism is a disease. If you see, more often than not, is if it's in the family, probability for you also to being an alcoholic is very high. Because if you're looking around your cousins, your uncles, your all drunkards, yeah, this other side, the same thing. You see, you have the same blood vein in your body. So you cannot cheat yourself that, you know what, I'm going to sit and drink one beer and I'll leave. Because the blood is there, it will be begging for more. And once you guys told me you start with the alcohol, you go to the hard drugs, then money runs out, now you go to the cheaper alcohol, yeah, and the crazy and more and crazy. And it's a circle that, unless as a person you want to get out, it's up to you. You really want to get out, and it's possible. People have done that and have come out, and they've come out to say their stories. So I think we are having like 1 minute. We need a parting shot to the parents. We start with who? Paulette. Then Judah, then.
So for me, what I would say is be part of your child's life. Please be present. Always be present. Because when these things start, you will realize, like we've said, there are those signs. So be present. Presence is the most important thing. As long as you're there, you're gonna notice when things change. And the fact that you're present, it means that you love your child. So they're gonna feel accepted. So be present and accept your children. Because these problems, they're not born with the problems just come. So yeah, be present and just accept your children. Yeah.
Be present, yeah. Judah?
Yeah.
After being present, I feel what you can do is love and pray. I believe in those two things, love and pray.
Love and pray and share your stories.
Yes, and share your stories. Yeah.
To the level they understand,
yes.
the age they can. Yeah. And Susie?
I think if they're gonna know anything, make sure they know it from you, so that the curiosity is early stage. So just be keen in just exposing them to things that you feel like, and don't do it in an educative way. Like as serious, let's sit down and talk about this. Some of these things are just conversations that you have casually, but they're very important. Yeah.
Thank you so much. What I can add is conversations needs to start from an early age. Let's not wait for a child to return into teens to young adults and start having those conversations.
Yeah.
Relationships with your children needs to be built from the foundation. And as you grow up, you build more relationship and you let them have an attachment with you. The relationship should be in such as that you are the reference point. Anyway, they ask, let them bounce off to you first before they bounce off to you. Or even when they ask their friends, they'll come and tell you a story. And the story might be, so-and-so did this and did this too. Or I went to school and I saw so-and-so drinking. What do you think? Your answer as a parent will determine if your child is going to tell you the truth that they're the ones who are drinking or not. If you start rebuking them and shouting and telling them the other children are bad, that will be the end of the relationship. You won't hear anything from this child.
Yeah.
So I think even as parents, be also curious. Ask your children open-ended questions. Take advantage of the teachable moments. Discuss and talk. And if you can discuss, and I like what Judah said, share your stories. Tell them what alcohol is, if alcohol is bad, and talk about your family. Pinpoint those uncles and aunties around your family that you see this. He drank alcohol, this is what happens. If you're not, this is what happens. And tell them, I expect you'll go out of there, you're going to the university, you'll be free, I won't be there. I've taught the best I can do. I pray that you make a decision, that will add value to your life. Because we can't hold our children forever. We have to release them at some point. And when you release them, we hope that they'll make the right path. So thank you so much for tuning in. There's so many comments. I can't read all of them, but there's so much. And next week, we have a very, very, very interesting topic. We're going to be talking about dysfunctional families in the eyes of teens. Yeah. What does domestic violence, divorce, separation look like in the eyes of young adults? So thank you so much for watching. Share as much as you can. Put questions on your feed. We will answer them the way we can. And thank you so much. See you again next Sunday, 8 o'clock, same time. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye-bye.